Welcome back to our YouTube channel, The Book Digest. In today's explainer, we're unlocking the Therapist Toolkit with a powerful summary of Why Has Nobody Told Me This Before by clinical psychologist Dr. Julie Smith. So the book kicks off with this huge question. I mean, think about it. Dr. Smith points out that for way too long, all these essential, honestly, life-changing skills for just managing our own minds have felt like they're locked away, you know? Like you can only get them inside a therapist's office. And this quote, wow, it just nails the whole mission of the book, right? It's all about democratizing therapy, taking these powerful tools out from behind closed doors and putting them into our hands. No referral needed, no waiting list. So let's crack open this toolkit and see what's inside. All right, so the first big idea is this. Understanding the basics of how your own mind works, which she calls psychological literacy, shouldn't be some kind of specialized knowledge. It should be a fundamental skill, just like learning to read or write, something we all get to learn. And the way the book is set up, it's just so practical. It's not one of those books you have to read cover to cover. Instead, think of it like, well, like a first aid kit. You've got these separate, easy-to-find sections for whatever you're dealing with. Low mood, anxiety, that nagging self-doubt. So you can just flip to the page you need, right when you need it. Okay, now this is where it gets really fascinating. Pretty much all the tools in this book, all these different techniques, are built on one single foundational idea. Dr. Smith actually calls it the master key, the thing that unlocks real, lasting change. And that master key is something called the thought-feeling-behavior loop. Now, the huge insight here is that this isn't a one-way street. It's not as simple as your thoughts create your feelings. Nope, it's way more dynamic. It's a constant cycle where everything affects everything else. So let's break that down. Your thoughts obviously influence how you feel and what you do. But then your feelings, they act like a filter, coloring all of your thoughts and nudging your behavior. And here's the game changer. Your actions, the stuff you actually do, can loop back and directly change how you think and feel. This is so powerful because it means if you feel stuck, you don't just have one way out. You have 3 different doors you can open. And that right there leads us to maybe one of the most powerful and honestly counterintuitive ideas in the entire book. It's the fact that most of us get the whole sequence of how change happens completely backward. You know what I'm talking about, right? We wait to feel motivated before we start that project, go to the gym, or make that call. But Dr. Smith says that's the biggest trap there is. That feeling of momentum we're all waiting for, motivation, it doesn't come before you act. It's the result of acting. The spark isn't what starts the engine. The spark is the engine starting. And hey, it's the exact same deal with confidence. We think we need to feel confident before we can try something new or scary. But that's not how it works. Confidence is the evidence you gather by doing the thing you are afraid to do. It's what you build when you tolerate that discomfort and just try anyway. It's the prize at the end, not the ticket to get in. So with that in mind, let's take this action-first idea and apply it to something so many of us deal with, anxiety. Okay, this next part is a huge reframe, because anxiety feels terrible, right? But what if it's not a sign that you're broken? Dr. Smith explains that it's actually your body's ancient, super effective alarm system, working perfectly. It's just that sometimes the alarm goes off at the wrong time, or, a little too loud. So when you feel your heart pounding or you can't catch your breath, that's not a catastrophe about to happen. That's just your body doing its job. It's pumping out adrenaline and cortisol, getting blood to your big muscles, literally preparing you to face a threat. And once you understand that, those scary physical feelings stop being just noise and start becoming information you can actually work with. And this brings us to a real fork in the road when it comes to anxiety. Path 1 is avoidance. And man, it feels good in the moment, right? Instant relief. But here's the catch. Every time you avoid something, you're sending a message to your brain that says, yep, that thing really is dangerous. And that just makes the fear stronger next time. Your world literally starts to shrink. Path 2 is facing it. It's uncomfortable, for sure. But that short-term discomfort is what buys you long-term freedom. It's how you make your world bigger again. So, we've talked about taking action, understanding our feelings, facing our fears. How does all of this stuff add up? Well, these aren't just random tips. They're the actual building blocks for creating something much, much bigger. And what Dr. Smith makes really clear is that a meaningful life isn't about getting rid of all the pain or stress. I mean, that's just not possible. A meaningful life is about what you add. It's about intentionally, actively building in the things that truly matter: real connection, a sense of contribution, and actually living by your values.
And that really is the ultimate takeaway here. Meaning isn't something you just find one day, like a lucky penny. It's something you make. You build it, piece by piece, day by day, with the choices you make and the actions you take. It's an active process.
Seriously, if there is just one thing you remember from all of this, let it be this right here: resilience, confidence, self-compassion, the ability to manage your own mood. These are not personality traits you're just born with or without. They are skills. And just like learning to play the guitar or speak a new language, they are skills that you can learn, practice, and get better at over time. And that brings us right back full circle to the most powerful idea in the whole book. Action comes first. Change begins with doing something. It doesn't have to be a giant leap. It just has to be one small, maybe even imperfect step. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What is just one small action you can take today to start building the life you really want?